everybody here at our show is focused on Game 5 of the World Series right now at Yankee Stadium. New York's playing L.A. The Yankees avoided an embarrassing sweep last night, which, if this wasn't already one of the most exciting World Series ever, we got to see something I've never seen before last night involving a fan. You ever see anything like this, Guillermo?
Oh, it was crazy, Jimmy.
And you've seen a lot of stuff. We've been around.
For a long time, Jimmy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you lost your virginity to your housekeeper.
Yeah, that's right. I was 14 years old.
So there we go. So last night, in the bottom of the first inning, Gleyber Torres hit a ball down the right field line. It was caught and then uncaught by Mookie Betts.
Right by Torres. Betts in the corner. Does he have room? Fights with the fan. And they're going to say that it's an out and fan interference. So an out, one gone in this first. And yeah, Betts has that ball in his glove, and this fan literally tries to take his glove off. Pries the ball out of there. A for effort.
It's like he's opening a clam. It's they call that the Staten Island handshake. It's Mookie versus the Mooks. The guy actually tried to defend himself. He's like, if it's in our area, we're gonna D up. Which, I don't know, just because they let you wear a jersey doesn't mean you're on the team. You don't D up. Both fans were ejected, and even though they're season ticket holders, they were told if they try to come to the game tonight, they'd be arrested. They've identified the guy. His name is Austin Capobianco. He's a neurosurgical oncologist. No, he sells restaurant supplies. But if you're looking for a mop bucket, give him a call. Wrestle that mop bucket out of his hands. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we have an election coming up on... I feel pretty relaxed about it. I've really been enjoying the week. It's in times like these, it's important to remember that cannabis is legal in our state. But you have to vote. If you can vote early, vote early. If you can't vote early, vote on time. If you want to vote for Trump, vote late, vote very late. Do your voting on Thursday or maybe Friday. This will be my third time voting against Donald Trump. Fifth, if you count the 2 times he was nominated for an Emmy for a reality show host. According to a new poll from CNN, only 30% of American voters think if he loses, Trump will concede. Which, what would give them that idea? But of course Trump won't concede if he loses his election. He still hasn't conceded the last election. And already he's claiming Pennsylvania is cheating. He wrote, Pennsylvania is cheating. And getting caught at large-scale levels rarely seen before. Report cheating to authorities. Law enforcement must act now. This, of course, is false. It's yet another lie, and there are a lot more to come over the next several days. Fiberace was in Allentown last night, where he treated his admirers to the old my crowd big, her crowd small routine.
Today they're busing people. You know, they're in a place in Washington, and they got buses all up. They're busing people because they couldn't get anybody to show up for her tonight. I didn't bus anybody. You're all here. This place is packed. She can't get anybody.
Yeah, well, Kamala must have hired a lot of buses because there were 75,000 of nobody at a rally last night. It's the most crowded bus stop I've ever seen. 75,000 is 22,000 more than showed up for Trump's rally in that same spot on January 6th. And the craziest part is when she was done speaking, they all just went home. Trump did not like this at all. He gave Kamala's speech 2 mini thumbs down. At 2:37 a.m., in the middle of the night last night, he posted, Kamala's speech was terrible, full of lies and nothing new. Where are the jobs? There are none. I guess he didn't hear the news on unemployment is at 4.1% right now. The reason there are no jobs is because almost everyone has one. Paris today landed another high-profile endorsement from a prominent Republican. Arnold Schwarzenegger said even the Terminator says he's not going back to Donald Trump. But she also got a bit of a hiccup from Joe Biden. There was a Zoom with a Latina voting group, and Biden, who's referring to the comedian who called Puerto Rico garbage at the Trump rally Sunday, said something to the effect of, Puerto Rico isn't garbage, Trump supporters are garbage. This happened during Trump's rally, and fortunately, someone was there to help boost Marco Rubio up onto the stage so he could frantically share this important news.
Senator Marco Rubio. Marco, will you come up here, please?
All right. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage.
Oh, my stars. It's... What kind of language is that to use? He's like an excited little minion bringing big news to Gru. It's like, Mr. President, stop the proceedings. I've got a bulletin. And if you thought that was insulting, wait till those people hear what you said about Donald Trump.
You all have friends that are thinking about voting for Donald Trump. Friends, do not let friends vote for con artists. He runs on this idea that he is fighting for the little guy. But he has spent his entire career sticking it to the little guy.
And he would know he's a little guy he stuck it to pretty hard. Oh, Marco. You poor, sad little defeated chimpanzee. Of course, the Trump campaign jumped all over this garbage thing, and I don't blame them. It's not a smart thing to say. Joe Biden should drop out of this race immediately. Over the past week, Donald Trump has referred to America as a garbage can multiple times a day, but now that Joe Biden used that word...
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
He's driving a garbage truck. He went out and rented a garbage truck and put his name on the side. Shouldn't they have put him in the back of that? The garbage goes in the back of the truck. It's confusing, but... He even wore a sanitation worker safety vest. This is not a picture we created. This is an actual photograph of Donald Trump. And it really brings out the orange in his face, I have to say. And while he might try to play it off and distract us, this garbage thing is a serious problem for him. He's facing a firestorm of anger from the Latino population. Bad Bunny, J-Lo, Ricky Martin have all come out in support of Kamala Harris this week. But instead of apologizing, which is not something he does, he sat down to talk about it with noted racial tolerance advocate Sean Hannity.
I've done more for Puerto Rico than any president I think that's ever been president. Puerto Ricans love me because I was the president that stood up for them more than any president. Every time I go outside, I see somebody from Puerto Rico. They give me a hug and a kiss.
Yes, that definitely happens every time he goes outside. But he's got a point. No president in history has thrown more rolls of paper towels at the Puerto Rican people than Donald Trump. Tell you what, Hitler never did that. Trump is really spinning out over this Hitler thing. A lot of people, including his own running mate, by the way, have compared him and the things he says to Hitler. Now, his father was the son of German immigrants, and his father taught his son a very valuable lesson about this.
You know, many years ago, I had a father who was a great guy. But, you know, he always used to tell me, never use the word Nazi and never use the word Hitler. Now we're called Nazis, and I'm called Hitler.
Congratulations. You've come a long way. Your dad would be very proud. You know, when you find yourself having to tell people I'm not Hitler, something is wrong. That means it's time to do a self-inventory. When your wife has to answer questions about her husband being a Hitler, it might be time to reel it in a bit.
What do you think about the rhetoric that's out there today? They're still calling your husband a second Hitler. How does that make you feel? Because you know him better than anyone.
Correct. It's terrible. He's not Hitler, and all of his supporters, they're standing behind him because they want to see country successful.
Right. They want to see country successful. Makes a lot of... Please, go on.
What would you do, or what would you like to see improved in our country if your husband wins the election next week?
Well, I would like to see country to be safe and prosperous, better economy, and the peace in the world. That's very important.
Oh, no one else is clapping? I mean... Well, that's why she was named Miss Slovenia in 1993. Answers like that. You know, sending your relatives out to speak on your behalf can be a shaky proposition, especially when that relative happens to be your son, High Pitch Eric.
Guess who's sitting in the White House right now? It's not Donald Trump. Guess who's been sitting in the White House for the last, 12 of the last 16 years, Jesse? It's Democrats.
Wait, well, someone get Eric a chocolate milk.
Guess who's sitting in the White House right now?
Wow, hang in there, Eric. Some guys go through puberty a lot later than others. You know, as our former president was distinguishing himself from Hitler today, our current president was hosting the annual family Halloween celebration at the White House. That is the president and the first lady who is dressed as a panda. We got furries in the White House, folks. Someone alert Sean Hannity. Joe's like, later on we're gonna go eat some bamboo shoots and I will take you to the zoo, baby. This was a special event because it was the first time someone Joe Biden's age told kids to get onto his lawn. The theme for the event was Hollow-read. For real, they gave out candy and books. They gave out Necco wafers and Tuesdays with Maury for the kids. Has the White House ever been egged before? The White House has said they want to put the boo back in books, which they really said, but I hate to tell them, I don't think it was you who gets credit for putting the boo back in books. I think it was this little lady.
That's why I wrote the book.
That's right. You know, you think that as an immigrant to this country, Melania might have something to say to her husband about demonizing immigrants every chance he gets, but she doesn't have to worry about it because Melania, I guess, doesn't have a black job.
And by the way, you have an invasion of people into our country, and not including gotaways, more than 21 million people. The gotaways, that nobody has any idea how many there are. They are going to be attacking, and they already are, the black population jobs.
Right. This idea that immigrants are attacking black jobs has been one of Martin Luther Burger King's favorite subjects on the campaign trail, even though no one from his side is willing to say what that means. But we want to know what it means. So we sent a team to Hollywood Blvd to ask black pedestrians to give us their definition of what a black job is.
Black job, black job, black job.
When Donald Trump says black jobs, what do you think he means?
I don't think he even knows what he means.
When Donald Trump says black jobs, what does he mean?
I don't know.
What's the blackest job you can think of?
Being a barber. And them don't never stop talking either, do they? Take forever to cut. But being a barber is the blackest job that you can have, man.
What's the whitest job you can think of?
Selling surfboards? I don't know anything.
Of all the jobs Donald Trump has held, what was the blackest?
Being in jail. Wasn't he locked up?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Oh, blackest job you got right now is trying to stay free.
What's the whitest thing you've ever had a coworker do?
Start off the email saying to whom it may concern, but they talk about the person right next to them.
What's the blackest thing you ever had a coworker do?
I guess come to work with the... I'm not gonna say that. Nothing. We don't do nothing. We don't do nothing.
That was a trick question.
That was a trick question.
Snitching is white.
Right. What you gonna ask me that for?
Do you have any black hobbies?
Yeah, I smoke a little weed every now and then.
Did you smoke any weed today?
I sure did, right before I came here. I sure did. I'm high as a kite.
What's your dream black retirement?
Man, naked, on the beach, with some Tito's and ginger ale, and we just naked. Not a care in the world about nothing.
Is it a nude beach, or?
It could be any beach as long as I don't go to jail. And we just naked.
All right.